The evacuation mission at the Azovstal steel plant in Mariupol continues, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said on Tuesday. It follows the end of Ukrainian forces' combat mission at the complex, which was for weeks the last major holdout in a city otherwise occupied by Russian troops. Mariupol evacuations. The Ukrainian president said the negotiation process on evacuating the last soldiers from the Azovstal steel plant continues with Russia. It comes after Russian Defense Ministry spokesperson, Major Gen Igor Konashenkov, said 265 militants, including 51 seriously injured, were evacuated on Monday night. Ukraine said it expects to carry out an exchange of Russian prisoners of war for the severely injured soldiers. Nordic NATO bids. Finland and Sweden will hand in their NATO application Wednesday, Swedish Prime Minister Magdalena Andersson said during a joint news conference with Finnish President Sauli Niinistö. NATO Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg will meet the country's ambassadors the same day before their leaders meet with U.S. President Joe Biden on Thursday. Russian former colonel criticizes invasion. In rare public criticism of the conduct of Russia's military operations in Ukraine, a former senior Russian officer has warned on state television that the situation will get worse. Despite pushback from the show's presenter, retired COL Mikhail Khodorkovych said Ukraine could arm 1 million people. Race for grain. The Biden administration is working closely with European allies to try to develop routes to get Ukrainian wheat and corn out of the country after Russia blocked Ukrainian ships from departing with grain that is vital for food supplies around the world, particularly in Africa and the Middle East. Russian vehicles litter countryside. A CNN team traveled to the eastern Ukrainian town of Bilohorivka, where Russia is believed to have suffered one of its biggest single defeats of the war. There, the charred remains of Russian armored vehicles littered a field just a few hundred meters from the front line. They found destroyed Russian tanks separated from their turrets, armored personnel carriers, heavy machine guns with barrels twisted into spirals, and the charred body parts of Russian soldiers. ICC teams in Ukraine. International Criminal Court prosecutor Karim Khan announced the largest ever single field deployment of the court's forensics and investigative team has been sent to Ukraine. The ICC formally opened an investigation into the situation in the country on March 2 and the team will collect testimonial accounts and forensic and digital materials as part of that probe.